Here we are. Finally, I'm recording something again. How long has it been since episode 6? Apologies, let me go check that. 1 full month. Again, apologies for the abrupt thing and the quality. It's never been good, I'll be honest there. I've never been the most professional at everything. Just trying to get this camera in a good spot. Alright, here we are. So today, let me just put this back. Alright, and lock that in place. I am going to be checking out this. It is called The Invasion of Godzilla. It is analog horror found footage, and it is a full 2 hours long. So let's start here. Restored last tape of Buck Denver and Samantha Wilson from November 3rd, 1993 cruise ship incident. Protected tape. And this is Department of Justice. I have no idea the quality of this, so we'll say, or what Godzilla they're using. It's going to be a already canon one or a custom one. I'm interested to see if it's a custom one. If it's not, that's fine. It looks a lot like Shin, but it's not quite. It's a bit early to be doing this. This would be a live stream, but they revoked my privileges for that a while ago. Yeah, it's a lot like Shin. There's this clip. There's this one. Is that a dorsal plate in his chest? That might be his tail, but if not, then yeah. It isn't quite Shin, but it's very similar. I do really like it. Monster Discovery. What is this, Animal Planet? Animal Planet for Kaiju.
Welcome
Yeah, that's
to Monster
safe.
Discovery. We are an organization that searches for and researches unique creatures around the world, even monsters. This organization has been built since 1984, and we have managed to discover and
So it's been around for 9 years at the time of this, right? Because it's 84 to 93.
research tens of thousands of species of rare creatures and strange creatures around the world.
Rare creatures and strange creatures.
However, on October 20,
Could have just said rare and strange, but
1993,
I forget.
precisely in the North Atlantic Ocean, we managed to make our biggest and most mysterious discovery.
Was it by
In
chance
the depths of
Godzilla?
the North Atlantic Ocean, we find creature that's shaped like dinosaur with spines shaped like leaves on its backs, which
I'll assume, as for the weird English, it may not be their first language, or it's just like how it is with the AI being the one to pronounce it.
which are numerous and appear to be glow. Its skin has the texture of crocodile skin covered in its teeth are sharp and it has long claws. The creature is estimated to be almost 328 feet long.
Join large-scale battle.
I can't show.
Our
I'm not
team
sponsored,
succeeded
so
in
I'm
taking
not
some
allowed to
photos
show
of
it.
this creature. When we started to take a
Unless you
further
wanna
look,
sponsor me.
it starts to move and avoid our spotlight.
Please.
However, strangely, we found dozens of canisters of radioactive waste discarded on the seabed but which appeared to have been damaged by large bites. We speculate that it's likely that these creatures ate the radioactive waste. So far,
You know, it might be a bit likely.
this is our best discovery.
cruise ship carrying 1142 people sank on November 3rd yesterday. There are no confirmed reports as to how and as a result the cruise ship sank. According to police information, of 1142 passengers, they only managed to find 831 bodies. However, one passenger was found on the top deck of the ship safe and unharmed. The passenger was still in a state of shock and did not want to say a word. She was rescued and taken to safety. The teams are still searching for the bodies of the passengers and finding out the cause of this incident. Residents around Rockaway Beach told how on the night the cruise ship sank, they heard strange sounds from the sea. One of the local residents managed to record the sound and captured the mysterious figure who was caught that night.
How did they recover the footage? It's TV.
Time has come.
Sebastian Francesco. Right, so this is an interview. Rescue worker at the cruise ship that sank on November 3rd, 1993.
What did you see on the cruise ship?
When we entered the lower cabin of the ship appeared to be melting. No, not because there was a fire at all. There was no sign of fire other than in the upper cabin. When we checked all the rooms in the cabin, everyone inside melted together. Paper bodies are fused together with each other and the objects around them.
Yeah. Pure
How
radiation
that happened.
really does some
The only
things
fire
to you,
from
man.
in the upper cabin that's strange too is if a meteor had penetrated the upper body of the ship.
An entire meteor. How big was the ship?
And then, on the right side of the lower left body of the ship. And then, on the right side of the lower left body of the ship, there's a large claw like a lion's claw accompanied by what looks like a body part attached to the scratch. It was like a big, thick black thorn that was bleeding.
Probably one of the scales, I had to guess. Ashley Parker interviews survivor.
What did you see, Ashley?
On that occasion, I was at the bottom of the ship's edge, leaving my friends who had gone out for dinner. But what I remember, a few minutes before the incident, people were cheering names of things like, I don't know. Not long after that, the ship felt hit by something and people started screaming. Things in the ship started to fall on me. I was buried in unable to get out of the room and see what was happening. But I remember clearly there was something big passing by my window. But that wasn't it. I remember there was a big white laser that seemed to hit the ship. The moment I saw
That's
that
the
light
meteor
from the
hole.
window, my eyes felt like they were going to explode. The atmosphere in the room became so hot.
So that mixed with the radiation is more than likely what melted the cabin
I felt like I
and
was going
the
to explode.
people.
Air felt poisonous and tight, and I fainted.
How are you alive?
But the light was so hot that the entire ship felt like it was going to melt. Even the air felt poisonous when that light appeared.
I won't lie, but to put it bluntly, I feel like some of the effects can be put together a bit better. Regardless, I think it's still good with what it's trying to do. Full body shot. Definitely like a mixture of Shin, -1, and maybe Ultima. That one was quick. Didn't need to pause. I hope not. And definitely some of their own custom inputs, but yeah, it seems like there was spikes on its chest. Oh, he's on land. I really like the design. You might be a bit dead on this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. Leave your house.
A large creature suddenly came from the North Atlantic Ocean.
New
and
York?
attacked New York.
Uh,
This
the-
creature has
Oh,
pushed
no.
its way through Brooklyn quickly, and now is around
Guys,
Manhattan.
look.
And we
He's gonna do it.
can see earlier that military troops are getting ready to attack this creature.
No looking at the titles, that's spoilers, I'm just counting through them. There's about 12 by my count. Is he gonna fire the scales? Or plates?
The military has tried everything to kill this monster. However, all these attacks did not make it stop at all. The military made this monster fall due to a bomb explosion, but it got back up and counterattacked all the military troops. Previously, it had eaten around 7 nuclear reactors around the city. We don't know what he's going to do now that the monster direction is turning back towards New York again.
Did they just say this man had 7 nuclear reactors? Do you know how much, no, not just how much radiation that is, how much power that's taking away from this city? There isn't going to be a city standing by the time this is over. I think it is over. It looked like there wasn't any city there. 8 minutes in. Keep losing signal, man. Maybe we should use a better software other than Minecraft. That's what I was thinking of. Not Minecraft, Gemstone Godzilla, that's the other it's mixed with. Not just because the white beam, but with the other like, parts of the glow and the figure, like... that form. It kind of ultimate too, because that beam.
It's my son. It's my son. Somebody help me.
Why did you keep driving? Why were you driving? Orb. How big is this guy? Oh god, it's like a goblin shark. How are you... Why are you still here? Hi. What, do you have something to say to me? Was it all my fault?
Remember you.
The attack by this large creature claimed hundreds of people this night. It was reported that hundreds of other people disappeared and were taken to hospital. Meanwhile, the creature has returned to the North Atlantic Ocean, eating dozens of nuclear reactors in the U.S.
Hundreds of nuclear reactors.
Hospital.
I don't think there's a U.S.
After the
anymore.
creature attacked U.S. and killed hundreds of people that day.
I think it's
We
just
start to dig up
S. It's just the states. There's no America. There's nothing to unite them anymore.
information
They're
about
just
that
there.
monster. This is possibly the same creature that we found in the North Atlantic. The origins of it. However, looking at the radiation waste it consumes under the sea, it seems to suggest that this creature did not come to land to kill humans. But, it is to consume the nuclear reactors in the vicinity.
So are we going to figure out, is the beam and the orb just a way of depositing any of the excess radiation? What was the point of those?
This creature seems to be able to detect the presence of a nuclear reactor, eat it and then return to the ocean.
So it senses nuclear
But
radiation.
why eat a nuclear reactor? This creature seems to have
Wouldn't we all like to?
mutated due to nuclear waste that is around it. It eats it, and mutates and must continue to eat nuclear material for the development of the creature. But we can't let it go. Over time, the creature can become bigger, and bigger and will get stronger. We are still trying to find out its origins and how to defeat this creature. However, we are sure. In the future, this creature will come back to land to hunt for nuclear reactors. Just be prepared and stay
Does it
safe.
need to?
Hey guys, welcome to my new video. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create this cool
I do not care. It's AI. You don't use AI. Unless it's for personal use only, never use AI for something. If you're the kind of person who puts AI stuff into competitions, like, he's still looking at me like I did it. Was it all my fault? Was I?
One month ago, the creature that we call Godzilla has attacked us. Thousands of lives have been killed by this creature's anger. Dozens of nuclear reactors in America have been eaten by Godzilla, releasing nuclear radiation in the
So
surrounding
they named
areas.
it around this time.
Godzilla's laser attack not only causes damage by burning cities and splitting buildings, but also causes high levels of radiation which pollutes the area around the laser attack. As a result, tens, or even thousands of people were rushed to hospital and even died due to exposure to high levels of radiation resulting from
That's not. That yawn isn't towards this series, by the way.
radiation from Godzilla's laser. Godzilla returns to the ocean after leaving the chaos here. However, we are sure that at any time Godzilla will return to land again to consume a nuclear reactor during his growth period.
It seems like this character might be important. The TV guy. No, the next wave will begin. Wave? Going to be fine, but not all of them are fine. What? Yeah, this is the end of this segment. Almost all of them who has faced it have faced it. Will suffer the horrifying fate. Miracle
Notice
Market!
a food sold near you may have been exposed to the radiation produced by Godzilla. In the current worrying situation, you have to be careful about what you consume. Especially, meat. According to reports from animal health institutions, around 50% of livestock have been contaminated by the radiation produced by Godzilla. What are the impacts of consuming meat or other foods contaminated by high
Leave New York. It's not the best place to be anyway.
levels of radiation?
I mean, they did say that it was either 100 straight or over 100 nuclear reactors, so
The
maybe
risks are cancer,
leave
cell damage,
America.
and other things. The radioactivity released by Godzilla contaminates the grass and livestock start to eat it. And the results of milk from cows exposed to radiation have resulted in hundreds of people being rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, hundreds of other people were rushed to the hospital due to eating meat from animals exposed to high levels of radiation and eating fruit that was also contaminated with radiation. You don't want that to happen to you, right?
Honestly, Pi has been great. It's all you really need in a browser extension, and it makes the new age of the internet so much more usable. Pi is a complete...
So buy our product. The animals that we develop are free from diseases and radiation. We take good care of all the animals we breed, and we guarantee they will not make
Good. They're not Butterball.
you sick like other traders. So do our dairy products, our vegetables, and our fruit. And we still recommend that you always wash and cook our products as thoroughly as possible before you eat them.
Be alert to new threats around you. Lock the doors of your house. Close all the windows and don't forget to close your curtains. Always be alert and always keep your weapon with you wherever you go. If you want to leave the house, bring your weapon and always be alert. And most importantly, wear your mask so you don't get exposed to radiation from Godzilla.
Oh yeah, just wear a face mask, you'll be fine.
If you find someone out there or inside your house starting to get dizzy, vomiting, diarrhea, headaches, can't control their saliva, please take them to the hospital as soon as possible. All these symptoms are accompanied by the following signs.
It's a lot of censoring. Red eyes. Broken spine, I get. Zombie man.
Or if they are difficult to control and aggressive.
So it is like Shin, but rather than evolving in the typical way like Shin does, it's just turning other people
immediately
into
find
smaller,
a room to hide and call an
humanoid
ambulance.
versions.
This also applies to you.
Call an ambulance?
If
Call
you
the fucking military!
Experience the symptoms we mentioned earlier, immediately go to the hospital. Or if you are starting to lose your sanity, lock yourself somewhere, so as not to hurt others.
There is a solution, but due to the way that people are today, I do not think I am allowed to say what the logical thing to do should be.
Please be alert and implement what we have just said.
Don't you call me wrong.
More than 30 people reported that outsiders or their family members began to lose their sanity and began brutally attacking their family members. We are still trying to find out what caused it. Stay safe.
Martha's diary, restored diary pages from... We survived Godzilla's attack on Brooklyn. Our house has been destroyed, we've lost everything, but we decided to move our late grandmother's house in New York. Or move to our... Why would you move to the main site of the destruction? Well, there was a firefighter, saved dozens of lives that night. I'm sure he did. What happened after? Maybe he's just old. That's a possibility. Maybe he's just old. That's a possibility. 1 week passed, and my dad's condition became increasingly worrying. Oh, joy. Red eyes, skin bruises. That's what that was, not a broken spine. We don't know what happened to him, but they hope he gets well soon. I would too. We tried to take him to the hospital. The hospitals around us are just, they're full. Ain't getting nowhere. we had been waiting for a long time. We decided to go back home. His dad couldn't stand it anymore. I was surprised by a scary sound from Dad's room. He's committing homicide! Oh, right, I need to read. We find Dad attacking Mom. I don't know what I could see, but all I could see... I don't know what I could see, but all I could see was blood everywhere. My sister and I ran into our room, then locked the door. Run out of the house! Not long after, my father started banging on our door. He doesn't sound like a human anymore. He sounded like a rabid animal. Just giving them hyper rabies. Hyper rabies. My sister and I ran into our closet. I called the police. They picked it up, and they will send help. They will. The clocks chime, and every time we hear a police car passing by our house, our hopes only rise, only to find out that it just passed our house. Well, you can't be dead because you're writing this. Woke up this morning. You can't stay in here forever. I'll go outside to get help through the window. Our only neighbors at the...
Forget it.
Just giving it a second. Okay. Our only neighbors are at the far end of this dead complex. Maybe this is my last note. If I don't succeed, at least I can catch up with my mother in heaven. So they're notes that are being read off to us. They're not being, like, actively written. Okay. Well, how did they retrieve them? Either way. 128.94. I couldn't tell you what that is, but, unless it's, like, just... it's not the time, because then, assuming this is minutes, then this would be seconds. And if it's military time, I can't read that. That's a bit more than a rabid animal. And for some reason they think this is an applause. I'm gonna turn off the subtitles. That's really uncomfortable to listen to. I'm waiting for you. He is waiting for us. Lab research report Godzilla virus case. USPS, NVS, WHO, and MD research report on the Godzilla virus case. Presenter Dr. Richard Theron, date January 27th, 1994.
We have research citizens who are infected with a mysterious virus that is spreading around the United States. After researching more deeply, we find that this is not a virus,
Army of Godzilla.
but this occurs due to radiation from Godzilla, which causes several people to mutate.
I think we'll pause it after
when
this bit.
Godzilla's laser attacks Chicago and its surroundings, it gives off such a huge amount of radiation.
You can't even leave the country, so leave the goddamn continent. Cut America, cut North America off from everything. Forget it. It doesn't matter. Because this is... You can't get back from this. It's over. It's over. Just go like... right here or here? Sorry, Central America, you might be a little too close.
People who are exposed to radiation will begin to mutate within 2 weeks.
Hey, Russia, you still want Alaska?
To become like Godzilla. What also needs to be paid attention to is that livestock, food, and drink are also exposed and can make anyone who eats them mutate. However, this applies if the food is exposed to high levels of Godzilla radiation. So all these things are not viruses, but the result of Godzilla's radiation, which slowly makes your body mutate. This radiation is not ordinary radiation like nuclear radiation. This is more than nuclear radiation.
How many times has this man said radiation in the past 2 minutes? No. Much less. Just in the past singular minute.
Keep wearing a mask and pay attention to what you eat.
Wear the masks. Don't worry. Radiation won't get through a face mask.
We recommend not eating meat in this worrying situation. And we always remind you to lock your doors, your windows.
Lock your house. Put it in the floor.
Close your curtains. Because many mutated people are roaming around the city, and we are in the process of trying to catch them all.
Lock your floors and lock your doors.
Is a healer. And he's got this big, like, sniper rifle. He's got...
Hopefully they don't give me a copyright strike for that ad. I think I'm just gonna cut. I think I'm just gonna cut out the ads. That was just. I failed at speaking there. I'm moving around too much. We're in a supermarket. Are we in the next section? No. Okay. Like I said, we'll be pausing after this section. What happened? What happened here? Don't get closer. You better be zooming in right now. You better know how to run right now. National Virology, Research and Stages of Mutated Patient Godzilla Virus.
Stage 1. The patient feels headache, nausea, vomiting and aches all over the body. In this stage, the patient is still sane. Stage 2.
Could be multiple
The patient
viruses.
begins to lose consciousness, often groans and scratches themselves. Their eyes started to turn red.
Red E's. I can see the very blue Y here.
All over the surface of their skin
Very
there were
blue.
red bruises with small bumps on their backs. Stage 3. The patient has completely lost consciousness. The character begins to become aggressive, drooling.
So they're not conscious, but they're aggressive.
Is uncontrolled. The skin turns pale to gray. The bulge behind the back begins to enlarge. In this stage, patients begin to try to attack and eat humans. Stage 4. The patient's body structure begins to change. A thorn resembling Godzilla's spine emerged from their back. They move nimbly and walk using their hands and feet due to their body structure starting to mutate. Nature has become very uncontrollable and very destructive. Despite their uncontrollable nature, you need to be reminded that these mutated people are smart enough to find a way to get into your house or...
So they're still intelligent. They're really messed up. Like, So, the only problem is that Godzilla never ate people. He would just, like, eat metallic things that happened to have people in them, like, with the train. And even then, I think he was just thrashing that around. Just having a time with it.
Or hide in the bushes.
But I guess if they've lost their sanity and this
Even
is like...
in stage 1 or 2,
that's
there is no way to
him,
treat the
then I
patient.
guess.
There is no way to stop the growth of this mutation even if you use any special treatment. The only way to stop them is to kill them. Meanwhile, there have been several cases of people eating food exposed to Godzilla radiation but not mutating. But as a side effect, the food they eat will start to rot and transform into something that we are still trying to investigate. Symptoms are headache, excruciating pain in the stomach and rectum, vomiting blood, and when defecating there is blood and red clots accompanied by sharp spines. Several operations succeeded in removing the food from the stomach, but most died from pain in the stomach and rectum. It was said by several doctors that the food turned into lumps of flesh that consumed the inside of the victim's body. Most of these cases occurred because the patient ate meat exposed to the very dangerous Godzilla radiation. That's why we recommend not eating meat in these worrying
probably
conditions.
Be worse than
According to
turning
the
into one
following
of them.
data, this is Godzilla's radiation exposure that spread throughout the area. We must isolate the city with the highest radiation exposure.
Isolate the continent. Like I said, it doesn't matter anymore. North America as a continent has fallen.
From other areas. Because we are afraid that the mutated people will start roaming around the city. We have to check the health of residents around the highest radiation areas one by one. If, according to our checks, the person starts showing these symptoms, we have to kill him. Likewise, for patients who are rushed to hospital due to the symptoms of this mutation, we ask the hospital to check the data and kill the patient before something undesirable happens.
This guy running around the city. What? Where is this guy? Blackwater? What is going on? Right, we're just about at the end of this section. Oh. And that appears to be where we leave off. I'm not too sure what this means for humanity. All I can really say is we're probably dead. How does this happen? What was Godzilla? Do we even... Are we gonna get to see Godzilla again? Or is it just gonna be these things? I don't mind if it is. I can still go through it. But, like, what is going on? It's not a virus. It's just weird radiation. I got that. But why is radiation doing this? Like, what kind of radiation does this? Is my question. And how exactly is the fact that this isn't a virus going to work? How are you going to get rid of that radiation? Because I feel like this is just a losing situation for the humans, and that this is... It doesn't really matter. In most other analog horrors, there's like, maybe you can deal with it, or it's just like a part of nature that's gone really weird, like Vitacarnis, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, don't kill me if I'm not, Gemini Home Entertainment, and then there's others, like Local 58. What do you do there? Don't look at the moon! How am I supposed to not look at the moon? Like, it's a losing situation. What's the point of it if there's no hope in the first place? Is it just to see the massacres that these things do? Because I don't mind that. That's still going to be pretty fun. But how do you deal with a situation like this? Either way, with that, we're going to leave it off there, because I don't know how much space my computer has at the moment. It has been yelling at me quite consistently. So I just want to wrap it up before it decides that it doesn't want to work, and just upload what I have here. I'm going to do a bit of editing with it, because I don't want all of it in here, because, you know, there's just a lot of ads and a lot of other bits I just want to get rid of them. Either way, it's been enjoyable to do some recording and commentary for once, and I will hopefully get back to this another time. So until then, I will be seeing you, all of you, later. Goji453 signing out. What the fuck was that hand signal?